What is up, everybody? My name is Ryan and I love cars. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video because we are actually installing the A91 edition stripes on my brand new 2020 Toyota Supra. So these are the stripes right here that we're going to be installing tonight. This is the larger one and this is the smaller one. However, this is obviously one side. This is the passenger side. You can't really see it on the camera. However, this is just pretty much a sample, but it actually says PS for passenger side. And this one is actually the one for the driver's side. Now, I actually got these from FT Speed, which is one of the popular websites that people order from if you have a GT86 or a BRZ. They have tons and tons of parts for that vehicle, as well as a lot of A90 Supra parts. And this is sort of the only website that I found that actually has these specific stripes in stock, or that even sell them, to be honest. However, I'll link them down in the description below, and they come in gloss black, matte black, as well as the carbon fiber that you might see that I have here. But first of all, you're going to want to clean the surface, and then you're going to want to test fit them. Just make sure that you have an idea of, sort of how they go on. After that, I'm going to put 4 pieces or maybe 2 pieces of electrical tape on each side, or maybe you could use painter's tape if you also have that handy. I wouldn't use something like duct tape or scotch tape because that's going to leave a sticky adhesive on the car. That's not something you want, just because you want the adhesive from the actual vinyl to sort of bond properly and not leave any bubbles on top of it. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put some electrical tape or painter's tape and sort of position them where I want the vinyl to actually be. So first and foremost, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use some quick detailer and a microfiber cloth just to sort of clean the surface area. You just want to make sure it's free of any debris, free of any type of dirt, because remember, with vinyl wrap, whatever is underneath is going to protrude outward, and if the cleaning surface, or the application surface is uneven, it's going to show through the vinyl. In addition, we want this vinyl to sort of stick there for a long time, and we don't want it to, sort of bump up or be uneven or anything. Another great tool for doing this would also be a squeegee or something like this, just so that once we put the vinyl on, you can sort of rub it on and make sure that there's no bubbles inside. If you don't have one of these, you can honestly pick them up at AutoZone or something like that, but you can also use a credit card and just sort of take the microfiber cloth and wrap it around it and just use it like that. So I just want to give you guys a little pro tip real quick. The lines that are part of your rear window, you can use those as reference to sort of measure up with a piece of tape, so you can extend the piece of tape from right out here to right about here. So something that I did is actually trace sort of around it with a scissor. As you can see, there is still a little bit of a white sort of edge up here. I just did this so I can get a nice and proper test fit, just so there's not all that excess around there that might sort of mess it up. However, the longer part of the big stripe goes down, and for the small stripe, I'm gonna have to look at the picture again real quick. But it looks like the longer part of this goes down as well, just because what it's doing is that it's contouring around the sort of wide hips of this Toyota Supra. So I actually have my roll of electrical tape here, and I'm just going to take off a piece, and you guys can actually hold that for me right now if you don't mind. And I'm going to take another piece as well, and can you just hold it in your other hand? There you go. So I believe that this right here is the most accurate position that I could possibly get it in. I'll just take that piece of tape from you guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. So I actually just checked, and a lot of people I see put them sort of back here. However, this is not really where you want to put it. You want to put it up here, sort of in this area, because this is where the A91 edition has you know, the vinyl stripes and everything. So you're gonna want to put it like that, line it up, and this part, lining this part, is not the hard part. The hard part is lining it up around this sort of body contour that you can see right here. So depending how you want it, obviously, you can line it up with, obviously the lines on the rear window, you can line it up with the with the third one, or you can line it up with the fourth one. Just sort of depending how you like it. But overall, what I would do is I would take a piece of tape and sort of make sure that it's right lining up with the third or fourth one, whichever you'd like. Bring it all the way over here and then line up the top right point with that piece of tape, just so you do the same on the other side and make sure they are equidistant, I believe is the word. You know, equal distance, obviously. Okay, so after about literally 15 minutes of doing this, I've sort of decided where I'm going to put it, and I'm going to do it on the 1, 2, 3, 4, the number 4, you know, rear window line, and I'm going to take a piece of tape, bring it all the way down here, and then line up the vinyl that you see right there with that piece of tape. So as you can see here, I have my piece of electrical tape. It's not the most sort of straight in the world, but it's going to work. Lined it up with the fourth line in the rear window, excuse me, and bring it over here. And so I'm going to line up the tip of this right here with this right here, just so I can get the most accurate you know, sort of fitment. However, before I do that, I'm going to put the piece of tape on the other side. Okay, so you can actually see a lot better my sort of work area that I have here over on this side. Have the vinyl right here, but once again, before we start, we are going to just put that there. We're going to take our quick detailer. You don't want to use any sort of wax spray or ceramic spray. This is just average quick detailer, just because you want the vinyl to stick directly to the paint. So we're going to spray just a few squirts, put this to the side, clean our surface area just a little bit, turn the microfiber over, buff out any excess, toss that to the side, and then obviously test fit one more time, just making sure that, wrong way, just making sure that this is good and that's going to go the right way. Yes, that is good. So we're gonna get these cut, and then we're gonna come over and obviously install it. Peel this off, line it up, peel the tape back just a little bit because it was actually on the body. Line it up like that. And that looks, oops, I had it perfectly. There we go. Just like that, take our squeegee and then make sure everything at the top is good. Make sure it's nice on the inside, this side. And then of course just take it and then put it down like that. And it should go perfectly into place, just like that. Okay, so we're gonna put it right there. Once again, just line it up with the rear. Take our squeegee, like that, and then you're good to go. Boom, both of them are installed. Okay, now I actually just switched out the battery in my GoPro. However, I just want to give you guys a final look at what this looks like. It doesn't look perfect, obviously. There is a tiny gap there. However, I rather a tiny gap over there than a tiny gap over here, because this is going to show due to the contrast with the window. You can sort of see it like that. However, you know, maybe I could have moved it back a little bit. However, I didn't want this point to be sort of overlapping on this side and be actually on the fender. And so, you know, due to that, I just, you know, did it this way. Once again, I did this with the tape, lined it up with the 4th line down. I definitely recommend doing this method just because it definitely will help you. Just gonna peel the tape off like that, just to give you guys the final look at what this looks like. So overall, the install was pretty much a success. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that I was able to help you guys out in maybe installing your own stripes. I think that whether you do it or if you pay somebody to install it, it's probably going to end up being the same result. Overall, no matter what you do, just make sure that you do that tape method, because it's going to help making sure that they are aligned on both sides. It's whatever if they're a little bit too far back, a little bit too forward, but as long as they're aligned on both sides, they're not going to look bad. And overall, once again, I believe that this is one of the best cheap sort of modifications that you can do for any A90 Supra. It really completes the rear end look. But with that being said, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I would also appreciate it if you could leave a like and maybe subscribe. Stay tuned for future Supra content. I really appreciate any feedback as well. Once again, guys, my name is Ryan and I love cars. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Please be sure to like and subscribe, browse the channel as well, and I will see you hopefully in the next video.